Namaskar to all. Today is Wednesday. Sri Ramakrishna was born on a Wednesday. So today being the Wednesday, we shall try to imagine ourselves be at Dakshineshwar in his room. Let us visit now Dakshineshwar from the Ganges.
Vishuddha Vijnanamadadha Saukhya Vishwasya Bija Karuna Payodhe Anadyananta Prakrite Parastat Tattvameka Bhuvi Rama Krishna Naneti Matva Shrutayo Vadante Vadante Sakshan Nachaya Kadachit Chidekaropa Shivayeshwarana Maheshwarosa Bhuvi Rama Krishna Yam Nityamananda Anantameka Shivete Namna Shrutaya Granante Tasyavataro Nararupadhare Kripa Sudhate Bhuvi Rama Krishna Mamete Buddhya Vishayeshu Yasya Nabhut Kadachet Vishayate Gasya Sakamini Kanchana Rekacheta Gopyekase Bhuvi Rama Krishna Premabdi Gambhira Taranga Bhase Angolitana Bhagavad Vinena Bhaktir Vishuddha Swayama Virase Pum Vigraho Bhuvi Rama Krishna Tamadbhutam Kanchidachintya Shaktim Vande Prashantam Paripurna Bodham Nanasya Bhaktescha Vishuddha Murti Vimurti Meka Bhuvi Rama Krishna Vijnana Piyusha Nimagna Murti Pasparshayana Daya Karena Te Kamini Kanchana Rikta Chitta Sadyo Babhovo Bhuvi Rama Krishna Vande Jagadvejamakhanda Meka Vande Surasevita Padapitham Vande Bhavesha Bhavaroga Vaidyam Tameva Vande Bhuvi Rama Krishna.
So they perform it. That is one of the items of this religious performance. Was there no yatra performance last night? Trailokya says, no sir, we couldn't conveniently arrange it. Master, what is done, but please see that this doesn't happen again. The traditions of the temple should be properly observed. Every year it happens, why didn't you arrange it last night? That's what he was telling. Trailokya gave a suitable reply and went on his way. After a while, Ram Chatterjee, the priest of the Vishnu temple, came up to Sri Ramakrishna. Well, Ram, I told Trailakya that the yatra performance should not be omitted again. Was I right in saying that? Ram, what of it, sir? Of course, you are right. The tradition should be observed. The master asked Balaram to stay for his midday meal. Before the meal, Sri Ramakrishna described to the devotees the days of his God intoxication. How he used to feel. That's what he was describing. Rakal, M. Ramlal and a few others were present. Master, now and then Hazra comes forward to teach me. You know, Hazra was one of the persons living there with Sri Ramakrishna. He used to sit on the veranda outside and used to do many japa. He says to me, why do you think so much about the youngsters? One day, as I was going to Balaram's house in a carriage, I felt greatly troubled about it. I said to the Divine Mother, Mother, Hazra admonishes me for worrying about Narendra and other young boys. He asks me why I forget God and think about these youngsters. No sooner did this thought arise in my mind than the Divine Mother revealed to me in a flash that it is she herself who has become man. That is, Sri Ramakrishna loves Narendra, Rakal and all young boys. He loved them because only the mother herself, Mother Kali herself, has become man. But she manifests herself most clearly through a pure soul. At this vision, I went into Samadhi. Pure souls are the true representatives of Mother. Mother is expressing herself through all human beings, but some are good, some are bad. So here these pure-hearted young men, they were reflecting Mother most clearly. So he was feeling attracted to them through a pure soul. At this vision, I went into Samadhi. Afterwards, I felt angry with Hazra. I said to myself, that rascal made me miserable. Then I thought, but why should I blame the poor man? How is he to know? So we are ignorant. We don't know that all men are manifestations of one Divine Mother, and the pure souls are reflecting greater of this divinity in them. I know these youngsters to be near Narayana himself. At my first meeting with Narendra, I found him completely indifferent to his body. When I touched his chest with my hand, he lost consciousness of the outer world. Regaining consciousness, Narendra said, "Oh, what have you done to me? I have a father and mother at home." The same thing happened at Jadungallik's house. As the days passed, I longed more and more to see him. My heart yearned for him. One day at that time, I said to Bholanath, "Can you tell me why I should feel this way? There is a boy called Narendra of the Kayastha caste. Why should I feel so restless for him?" Bholanath said, "You will find the explanation in the Mahabharata. On coming down to the plane of ordinary consciousness, a man established in Samadhi enjoys himself in the company of sattvic people. He feels peace of mind at the sight of such men." When I heard this, my mind was set at ease. Now and then, I would sit alone and weep for the sight of Narendra. See how this drama was enacted there. Narendra was brought from that rishis of one of the 7 rishis. He was brought down by the will of Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, to do his work. So much of attraction. Oh, what a state of mind I passed through. When I first had the experience, I could not perceive the coming and going of day or night. People said I was insane. What else could they say? They made me marry. I was then in a state of God intoxication. At first I felt worried about my wife. Then I thought she too would eat and live like me. I visited my father's father-in-law's house. They arranged a kirtan. It was a great religious festival, and there was so much singing of God's holy name. Now and then I would wonder about my future. I would say to the Divine Mother, Mother, I shall take my spiritual experience to be real if the landlords of the country show me respect. They too came of their own accord and talked with me. Oh, what an ecstatic state it was! Even the slightest suggestion would awaken my spiritual consciousness. I worshipped the beautiful in a girl 14 years old. I saw that she was the personification of the Divine Mother. At the end of the worship, I bowed before her and offered a rupee at her feet. One day I witnessed a Ram Leela performance. I saw the performers to be the actual Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, Hanuman and Vibhishana. Then I worshipped the actors and actresses who played those parts. At that time, I used to invite maidens here and worship them, Kumari Puja. I found them to be embodiments of the Divine Mother herself. One day I saw a woman in blue standing near the bokul tree. She was a prostitute, but she instantly kindled in me the vision of Sita. I forgot the woman. I saw that it was Sita herself on her way to meet Rama after her rescue from Ravana and Silo. For a long time, I remained inside Samadhi, unconscious of the outer world. You see, the merit or demerit of a person doesn't matter at all. Thakur says the Atman inside, Atma Drishti. He doesn't look at the body or the mind of the person. The real person in each of us is that Atman. We are not actually the body nor mind. That is what Thakur wants to say here. The person is pure or impure, that is in the mind, maybe in the body, but the Atman is the same divine. It's the same divinity dwells in all of us. That's why he sees everywhere the divine divinity within. Another day I had gone to the Maidan in Calcutta for fresh air. A great crowd had assembled there to watch a balloon ascension. Suddenly I saw an English boy leaning against a tree. As he stood there, his body was bent in 3 places. The vision of Krishna came before me in a flash. I went into Samadhi. Once at Shihor, I fed the cowherd boys. I put sweetmeats into their hands. I saw that these boys were actually the cowherd boys of Vrindavan, and I partook of the sweetmeats from their hands. At that time, I was almost unconscious of the outer world. Mathur Babu kept me at his Janbazar mansion a few days. While living there, I regarded myself as the handmaid of the Divine Mother. The ladies of the house didn't feel at all bashful with me because the man-woman difference they couldn't find in him. He was expressing only his divinity, not of the body and mind. They felt as free before me as women feel before a small boy or girl. I used to escort Mathur's daughter to her husband's chamber with a maid servant, as though he is the girlfriend of Mathur's daughter. Even now, the slightest thing awakens God consciousness in me. Rakhal used to repeat the name of God half aloud. At such times, I couldn't control myself. It would rouse my spiritual consciousness and overwhelm me. Sri Ramakrishna went on describing the different experiences he had while worshipping the Divine Mother as her handmaid. He said, once I imitated a professional woman singer for a man singer. He said my acting was quite correct and asked me where I had learnt it. Thakur could imitate a woman singer, as though at that time he will become a woman. At times he becomes, as soon as he assumes a part, he used to identify himself with that and merge in it. That's why the master repeated his imitation for the devotees and they burst into laughter. The master imitated that woman singer with her, gestures and all that. So all the persons who were present, they started laughing. After his noon meal, is it time? So thing is, when we read this gospel, it is meant for us to feel the presence of Sri Ramakrishna, be in his presence. So for meditation, we try to think of, if Sri Ramakrishna is your Ishta, you have got a mantra from your Guru, then what happens? You repeat the mantra and try to visualize that person, isn't it? So reading this gospel makes it quite easier, because what they call in Leela Chintan, you think of that Leela performed in either in this thing, Dakshineshwar, or wherever he was, in Balaram Mandir. We can mentally go there and be present and enjoy this Kathamritam, gospel should be read in that light. We should go, we should sit with Master Mashaya or other devotees, and we must feel his presence, how he is talking. So we must get merged in that. That helps us to actually meditate. Meditation becomes easier by reading Kathamrita with all absorption. That is, we can be present in his presence we can live through this gospel. That is why gospel is the most helpful scripture for us, for meditation and concentration, and getting ourselves divinized, as though we are part of that drama. We are also in the presence of Sri Ramakrishna. We are enjoying his company, so that's why we also get the bliss and happiness of his presence through this.
Mother is only the refuge to a child. We all here are the children of our Divine Mother, the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. Here I am reading from the Gospel of the Holy Mother. It is when she was, at that time she was at Udbodhan, and this conversation is between the Holy Mother and his monastic disciples, Swami Arupanandaji Maharaj. Udbodhan, 29 October 1910. It was early in the morning. I was seated near the mother's bed. She began to talk to me about the master. Mother. On the very day I reached Puri, mother is telling, I quickly finished the worship of the master in the morning by placing his picture on a tin containing ghee. Then I went to visit the temple of Sri Jagannath after locking the room. When I returned, I saw the picture of the master at the foot of the tin. The others too came and observed it. All felt that some thief might have entered the house in our absence. But all the things in the room remained undisturbed. At last I noticed that big bed ants had gathered on the tin. It was a ghee tin, you see. Since they had approached the picture of the master also, he had come down and settled himself below. Disciple: does the master really live in the picture? Mother: of course he does. The body and the shadow are the same. And what is his picture but a shadow? Disciple: does he live in the all pictures? Mother: yes. If you pray to him constantly before his picture, then he manifests himself through that picture. The place where the picture is kept becomes a shrine. Suppose a man worships the master there, pointing to a plot of land north of the Udbodhan, Mother is telling, then the place is associated with his presence. Disciple: well, good and bad memories are associated with all the places. Mother: it is not exactly like that. The master will pay special attention to such a place. Disciple: does the master really partake of the food that you offer him? Mother: yes, he does. Disciple: but we do not see any sign of it. Mother: a light comes out of his eyes and licks all the articles of food. His ambrosial touch replenishes them again, so there is no decrease. The Lord comes down from Vaikuntha to where the devotee calls him. On the night of the Kozagari Purnima, Lakshmi comes down to the earth from Vaikuntha. She visits and accepts the worship in those places where she wants to bestow her special grace. My mother-in-law had seen at Kamapukur a fair girl, about 14 or 15 years old, with earrings made of conch shells and with diamond bangles on the arm. The goddess Lakshmi herself, who had come in the form of the girl, spoke to her under the bakul tree. My mother-in-law asked, "Who are you, dear?" Sri Lakshmi replied, "Oh, I have specially come here." My mother-in-law asked, "Have you seen my son Ram Kumar, her son, the elder brother of Sri Ramakrishna?" She asked about him only. "Oh, I have specially come here." My mother-in-law asked, "Have you seen my son? He has gone to perform worship. It is already so late and he has not returned yet." Then Lakshmi is saying, "Yes, he is on his way back. From that place itself, I have come to visit your house." "No, dear," said my mother-in-law, "there is nobody at home. Please do not come now." Hearing such repeated refusals to entertain her, the goddess disappeared, saying, "All right, anyway, I will look after you all in a general way." So, you see, their circumstances never improved to a great extent. However, they could maintain themselves on coarse food and clothing. My mother-in-law had seen the girl come from the direction of the house of the Lahas, where the corn used to be stored. On his return, when my brother-in-law heard of all this, he exclaimed, "Oh mother, you did not understand. Today is Kozaguri Purnima. Lakshmi herself had come." He could foretell things and verified this incident by astrological calculations. Why? Does the mother require any food? He doesn't. He eats the food offering only for the gratification of the devotees. The sacred prasada purifies the heart. The mind comes impure. If one eats food without first offering it to God. Disciple: does the master really partake of the food offering? Mother: yes. Do I not notice whether he partakes of the food or not? The master takes the seat before the plate and then partakes of the food. Disciple: do you then actually see it? Mother: yes. In the case of some offerings, he actually eats, and in other cases, he merely looks at them. Take your own case. You don't like to eat all things at all times, nor do you relish the food offered by anyone and everyone. It is like that. One's love of God depends entirely upon one's inner feeling. Love of God is the essential thing. Disciple: how does one get love of God? Even if one's own son be brought up by someone else, he doesn't recognize his own mother as his mother. Mother: yes, that is true. The grace of God is the thing that is needed. One should be fit to deserve the grace of God. Disciple: how can one speak of deserving grace or not deserving it? Grace is the same for all. Mother: one must pray sitting on the bank of the river. He will be taken across the proper time. Disciple: everything happens between the proper time comes. Then where does God's grace come in? Mother: must you not sit with the fishing rod in your hand if you want to catch the fish? Disciple: if God be our own, why then should one sit and wait? Mother: that is true. It may happen even out of season. Don't you see nowadays how people get fruits like mango and jack out of season? How many mangoes grow nowadays in the month of Bhadra? Disciple: is it all that he sends us away by giving us why we deserve? Or can one get him as one's very own? Is God my very own? Mother: yes, God is one's very own. It is the eternal relationship. It is everyone's own. One realizes him in proportion to the intensity of one's feeling for him. Disciple: intense feeling is like a dream. A man dreams what he thinks. Mother: yes, it is a dream. The whole world is a dream. Even this, the waking state, is a dream. Mother and disciple: no, this is not a dream, for then it would have disappeared in the twinkling of an eye. This state exists for many, many births. Mother: let it be so. Still it is nothing but dream. What you dreamt last night does not exist now. A farmer who lost a son dreamt at night that he was a king and the father of 8 sons. When the dream vanished, he said to his wife, "Shall I weep for my 8 children or for this one?" After arguing thus with the mother, I said, "Mother, I don't really bother my head about what I just said to you. All that I want to know is whether there is anyone whom I may call my own. Mother, yes, such a one exists. Disciple, surely. Mother, yes. Disciple, if he be really our own, then why should we pray unto him in order to see him? One who is truly my own would come to me even if I didn't call on him. Does God do things for us as our parents do? Mother, yes, that is true, my child. He himself has become our father and mother. He himself brings us up as our parents. It is he alone who looks after us. Otherwise, where you and where are you now? Your parents brought you up, but at last realized that you did not belong to them. Have you not seen a cuckoo brought up in the nest of a crow? Disciples, shall I realize God as really my own? Mother, yes, surely you will realize him. Whatever you earn for, that you will get. Did not Swamiji realize him? You too will realize him as Swamiji did. Disciple, Mother, please see that I am not overcome by fear or slacking of faith. Mother, there is no such danger for you, for I myself have hooked the fish. Disciple, that is good. We all shall enjoy it. Mother, yes, that is right. One makes the mold and many others make their images from it. Disciple, yes, we shall get everything if you only work for us. You cannot set us aside. Mother, yes, my children, you will have all if I do it for you. What a words of assurance. Let us pray to Holy Mothers earnestly to give us strength to practice her teaching in our life and make us her worthy children. Namaste.